New Life Family Outreach began in 1987, reaching women and children in our community, bringing healing material assistance because we believe by doing that for individual families, we will build a better community.
They've helped me provide my child with diapers, with wipes. They've helped me provide clothes for my baby, body wash, formula. I mean, anything that I've needed, these ladies have been there to take care of me.
I feel better when I come here, like when you pray and when I hear about the Bible. And a lot of they help me for diaper. So two week I didn't buy, I use my money for different things. So thank you, special thank you so much.
I love the support. I love feeling like there's someone out here that cares about me and my family.
It's helped me with a lot. Like before I have my baby, my first baby, the diaper or clothes is already like ready for me. Like every material that need for the newborn, I have them ready.
The Joy program is the program that the women who need material assistance come to. They are assigned a client advocate, which is a volunteer that follows them all the way through the program, so they build that relationship of trust. They come in for counsel, they come in for encouragement, they come in for Bible study, and then they can spend 15 minutes in the boutique picking out the items that they need, and they come every 2 weeks.
I can go into the boutique and get clothes and food items, different things that my kids need.
The HOPE program is for those women who have lost pregnancies to miscarriage or stillbirth. They can learn that there is hope after miscarriage or stillbirth and hope that they will have a healthy pregnancy going forward. The Journey program is for survivors of abuse. That could be physical abuse, emotional abuse, religious abuse, or sexual abuse. That also is very, very confidential, is led by those who have been through the experience and been healed. The GRACE program is our program to support women who have made the choice for abortion and are seeking healing from that choice.
Please, please know that these people actually care about you. It has nothing to do with money, period. These people actually care about you.
Anyone can come here. They have, different services for different types of situations that you might be in.
They've helped me to not only take care of my children, but to find myself.
We are here for you, and we want you to feel that you are loved, that you are valued, that you are an important part of the world. New Life Family Outreach began in 1987, reaching women and children in our community, bringing healing material assistance because we believe by doing that for individual families, we will build a better community.
They've helped me provide my child with diapers, with wipes. They've helped me provide clothes for my baby, body wash, formula. I mean, anything that I've needed, these ladies have been there to take care of me.
I feel better when I come here, like when you pray and when I hear about the Bible. And a lot of they help me for diaper. So two week I didn't buy, I use my money for different things. So thank you, special thank you so much.
I love the support. I love feeling like there's someone out here that cares about me and my family.
It's helped me with a lot. Like before I have my baby, my first baby, the diaper or clothes is already like ready for me. Like every material that need for the newborn, I have them ready.
The Joy program is the program that the women who need material assistance come to. They are assigned a client advocate, which is a volunteer that follows them all the way through the program, so they build that relationship of trust. They come in for counsel, they come in for encouragement, they come in for Bible study, and then they can spend 15 minutes in the boutique picking out the items that they need, and they come every 2 weeks.
I can go into the boutique and get clothes and food items, different things that my kids need.
The HOPE program is for those women who have lost pregnancies to miscarriage or stillbirth. They can learn that there is hope after miscarriage or stillbirth and hope that they will have a healthy pregnancy going forward. The Journey program is for survivors of abuse. That could be physical abuse, emotional abuse, religious abuse, or sexual abuse. That also is very, very confidential, is led by those who have been through the experience and been healed. The GRACE program is our program to support women who have made the choice for abortion and are seeking healing from that choice.
Please, please know that these people actually care about you. It has nothing to do with money, period. These people actually care about you.
Anyone can come here. They have, different services for different types of situations that you might be in.
They've helped me to not only take care of my children, but to find myself.
We are here for you, and we want you to feel that you are loved, that you are valued, that you are an important part of the world.
Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for our first ever virtual benefit. My name is Chris Cathell and I'm the board chairman here at New Life Family Outreach. I'd like to thank our sponsors tonight for making this event happen. COVID-19 has really disrupted our whole fundraising this year. And so I thank those sponsors for supporting us tonight and making this benefit possible. This year we had to adjust, like I said, we had to adjust our fundraising. We had to cancel our Walk for Life in the spring and adjust some of the things we do in the summertime to help us carry us through this year. So thank you for however you're watching through your TV, your phone, your personal device, your computer. Thank you for joining us this evening. Tonight our theme is sharing our story. We have 3 volunteers and board members that are sharing their testimony tonight and how they have benefited from our ministry in the past. And tonight they're sharing their personal testimony and how their testimony weaves in the mission of our organization. We have 3 easy ways to give this evening. First, by phone. Second, the link in the video description below. And 3, through our website, newlifehighpoint.org. And now I'd like to introduce you to our executive director, Deborah Rodenheiser. She's going to give us an update on our ministry this past year.
Thank you all for joining us this evening. I want to tell you a little bit about our ministry. Instead of being labeled a pro-life ministry, I prefer the term life-affirming. This theme flows throughout our various programs and all that we do here at the center. The Joy program affirms the life of the child, the mother, and the family through Bible study, discipleship, mentoring, and the provision of material assistance. We support the family through the first 2 years of a child's life. Through Hope, we affirm the life of a child who was lost to miscarriage and stillbirth. We affirm the life of the mother and the family and help guide them through forgiveness and healing of this event. Through grace, we affirm the life of the child, but we also affirm the life of the mother who made the choice for abortion. Through Bible study, mentoring, discipleship, support, we take her on a path to healing and forgiveness. Through Journey, we affirm the lives of those who were victims of abuse. We walk with them through a path of healing, forgiveness, and freedom. We are tasked with loving the people of our community. We believe that love is a verb, and through our actions, as well as our words, we can direct these people to the source of all love. During the challenging times of COVID-19, we were faced with the decision of whether or not to close the doors of the ministry. In the end, we decided not to close those doors. We took precautions of having only one person in the building at a time, and we would take the needed items out to the cars of the clients. We felt it was important to remain available for any phone calls during this time, to offer support that way, and to provide our clients with needed items during this time. We remain open to God's leading in this ministry. We also hope that you remain open to His leading and direction and how to support this ministry. We are so grateful for all of your support during this time through monetary provision, donation of material items for our Joy program, but most especially for your prayers. I want to thank my coworkers, Melissa McBryant and Sherry Canoy, who daily partner with me in this ministry. We want to thank our volunteers who are indeed the heart of the ministry and keep things going. And now I would like to introduce to you my friend and board member, Shirene Gentry.
Good evening. I'd like to share my story, which began in the country of Iran. In October of 1962, the eyes of the world were focused on the Cuban Missile Crisis when a young, single, pregnant girl walked into a hospital to deliver a baby. Was she alone? I don't know. Was she scared? Probably. Was she covered in a chador to hide the pregnancy? Most likely. Was abortion an option? Not legally. Whatever the reasons that allowed this pregnancy to proceed, I am thankful. Why? Because I am that baby girl. This is the story of my beginning. Who was the birth father? Circumstantial evidence discovered only 3 years ago suggests that it was the Shah Shah, King of Kings of the last Peacock dynasty, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. You see, I was born with all kinds of negative labels: unwanted, illegitimate, and unplanned. But when man's actions and consequences are unplanned, God always steps in with His plan. And how did He do this? The year that my birth mother was pregnant, He was already orchestrating the details of my adoption. A United States Army colonel and his bride of 1 year had just accepted a military assignment in Tehran, where he would be the commanding officer of the 64th Engineering Battalion. He sent his bride off ahead of him to secure housing and to meet other military wives. And it was during this solo trip that she learned of this young pregnant girl who either could not or would not keep her baby. Impulsively, and without the input of her husband, she said she would take this child. At the age of 7 months, I went to live with my adopted American parents. At the age of 2, when my father's military assignment was completed, we left Tehran. We returned stateside, and at the age of 4, I was legally adopted and I was given a name. A year after that, I became a naturalized citizen of America. You see, God called me all along, wanted, loved, worthy, valued, a daughter of the King of Kings. He never declared me illegitimate or unwanted. But just like my life, so it is with every child that is conceived and born. God says life is precious. And in Psalm 139, we are told that God knows who we are when we are woven together in the depths of the secret place. God knows the circumstances, the people, the places that all go into our unique backstory. This becomes part of our life narrative to ultimately reveal His glory. I believe in life. I believe in the giver of life. I believe in adoption. And I believe in New Life Family Outreach. Through their Joy program, for the first 2 years of life, this young mother is given emotional, relational, and spiritual support. If she can't keep her child, New Life partners with Christian adoption agencies. I hope you will join me in supporting this vital organization and ministry that not only values life, but changes lives. Thank you.
Wow, what a powerful story. Thank you so much, Shirene, for sharing your story of adoption and also sharing about New Life Family Outreach's Joy program. Our next speaker is Yvonne Hendricks. I want to tell you that New Life Family Outreach doesn't only serve the interests of the unborn and serve to strengthen struggling families, they also strive to help post-abortive mothers. Yvonne Hendricks has a story that includes that tough topic, and she is going to also share about our Grace program. So welcome, Yvonne Hendricks.
God has plans for us, plans to give us hope if we will seek Him with our whole heart. Jeremiah 29:11-14. God led me to New Life Family Outreach many, many years ago as part of His plan for me. Thank you for being a part today. Thank you for listening to part of my story, and thank you for your support of New Life Family Outreach. As a freshman in college, I experienced freedom for the first time without parental boundaries. And by the second semester of my freshman year, I was pregnant. My boyfriend, the clinic on the campus, the hospital were all advising and suggesting abortion as the best option. And I knew it was wrong, but I could see no other option at that time. So I gave in to their lead, and my boyfriend Tom and I drove to New York. He dropped me off at the front door of the clinic, picked me up at the back door. And I remember very few details of that experience. I remember some sounds. I remember pressure. I remember feeling alone. I remember feeling rejected. He put me on a bus back to Boone because he wasn't going to drive back to North Carolina. And I was scared. He promised me that he would call me, but that call to Boone never came. I was scared, alone, rejected, and I told no one where I had been and no one about the life-changing experience that I had made. In 1975, I met Don. We married the next year. We moved to Mississippi where he was working. Life was great. Life was fabulous. But I stuffed my abortion and the sexual molestation behind me. In 1980, our daughter was born, and I was so excited, overwhelmed with emotion. The miracle of life, joy, excitement, all mingled with self-hate, rejection, shame, and the realization of a choice I had made 8 years earlier. And I had stuffed all that so far down inside that anger began to spew from me, and I hurt everyone around me. We were very active in our church, but every year on Sanctity of Human Life Sunday, I would stay home and cry out to God for forgiveness. But no matter how hard and how much I cried out to Him, I could not forgive myself for my past. I knew God had forgiven me because He said so in His Word in 1 John 1:9. At that time, I began to pray for Tom because I knew if I was hurting this badly, he must be as well. This cycle continued until we moved back to North Carolina in 1985. At that time, I'd only shared my horrible secret with my husband Don and my sister Angie. She found a book for me. It's Will I Cry Tomorrow by Susan Stanford Rue. We took a weekend trip to the beach, and I read the book feverishly. It read as the author's story of her abortion and how she found healing and peace with her past. At the end of the book, she walked me through visualizing my baby in the arms of Jesus, the color of the blanket, and naming the baby Jonathan. I was so overwhelmed with emotions, a realization that God was taking care of Jonathan and that He had already forgiven me, as He said in His Word, for my abortion. By naming Jonathan, it allowed me to grieve the loss of a life. I had been trying to earn the forgiveness from God, but the only way to find forgiveness was by accepting the forgiveness that Jesus provides. Sunday afternoon, when I returned home from the beach, I immediately shared with Don what I had experienced. He knew how much I had been suffering, and he knew that this was exactly what I had needed. Monday night, Don was traveling. He was away from home. The house was quiet. Both of our daughters were sound asleep, and the phone rang. I immediately recognized the voice. It was Tom. "What do you want?" I asked. He said, "I need to ask you to forgive me." And I said, "Oh, certainly, I forgive you, but can you possibly forgive me?" We talked on for a few minutes, and we were able to ask questions and receive the answers to what we were seeking. God is so awesome. Tom called after I had been praying for him, after I had accepted forgiveness for the abortion and ending the life of our child. The girls were asleep. The house was quiet. And he called at that specific time. God provides what we need, when we need it, in His perfect time. I had a burning desire to share the love and the forgiveness that God had provided for me. But the shame of my past prevented me from sharing the joy that Jesus had provided. Several years later, a speaker from New Life Family Outreach spoke at our church. It was the first Sanctity of Human Life Sunday I had attended. I was very anxious, unsure of what I would hear from the pulpit. Would I hear more condemnation? But as the speaker spoke, I could not wait to contact them Monday morning. When I walked in to the center, to New Life Family Outreach, they welcomed me, they prayed with me. And several months after I had begun volunteering, they asked if I would consider beginning a post-abortion ministry here. I didn't know they had been praying for that. They had been praying for me. God is so good. He is so overwhelming in how He plans our future if we just seek Him. So Grace Post-Abortion Support Ministry began, and it was through grace and God's Word that I found healing from the guilt and the shame, the rejection of my past. We've had numerous grace groups over the years, with most of the women from area churches who had never shared their horrible past with anyone and suffered in silence. God provided Grace a confidential place to share stories, receive the forgiveness and the freedom that God has in store for us. Freedom from the guilt and shame of an abortion. It is such a privilege to watch as God transforms the lives of women through His Word. Several volunteers felt led to begin a memorial garden for the unborn, a place to recognize lives lost before birth through miscarriage and abortion. This garden provides a place to support women through the grace groups and also through HOPE, our miscarriage support group. As the garden was created, God showed up again in miraculous ways by providing the volunteers, monetary needs, and the materials we needed. Please let us know if you are interested in any of the ministries that we offer. Thank you for listening to part of my story and for your support of New Life Family Outreach.
Thank you so much, Yvonne, for that powerful story. Isn't it amazing what a story can become when it's touched by God? Our next speaker today, her name is Susan Smith. And I want to tell you that many people have experienced abuse, and it's tough to talk about. So we're grateful to introduce our next speaker to you, Susan, who has some things to say about her experiences with that tough topic. She's also going to share with us about New Life Family Outreach's Journey program. Please welcome Susan Smith.
Our virtual benefit this year is based on Psalm 107. And Psalm 107 is a history lesson of how God has delivered his people from distresses and storms of life. It is also a psalm of thanksgiving for God's providence and his grace. Verse 1 and 2 of Psalm 107 say, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom he has redeemed from the hand of the adversary." Psalm 107 names specific actions that the Lord has taken to redeem and restore his people. He talks about taking and gathering people out of the land, calming the storms in their life. He guides them on the right path. I am thankful and will be forever grateful that over 25 years ago, the Lord guided me to New Life Family Outreach. The Lord used the leaders at the center to bring his light into the recesses of my soul that had been closed off and silenced by painful memories. I chose to open that heavy door of shame and to participate in the programs at New Life Family Outreach. This is a portion of my story. At age 4, my father made a decision and chose to leave our family and to move away. This is a memory that burdened my life and made it difficult for me to navigate life. It burdened me with questions of my value and my worth. It caused me to be unsure, to be anxious, to be depressed. I've learned personally that a father is critical in the healthy development of a daughter. I've also learned that a father's absence can leave a crack in the family unit that will enable the evil one to enter in. Gratefully, my mother was devoted to my sister and me. She faithfully worked multiple jobs, daytime, evening, and weekends, to provide sustenance and shelter for my sister and me. She was faithful to attend church on Sundays, Wednesdays. We went to training union. We went to Wednesday night supper. She had us in choir. She instilled within us a desire to be part of a faith-filled community. The sweet song of her life instilled within me a desire to persevere, as she had, through all of life's ups and downs. While my mother worked, my aunt cared for me and my sister. At 6 years old, my story is impacted by the pain of abuse by an older cousin. The abuse was sexual, mental, and emotional, and it went on for many years. Chronic childhood and adolescent abuse disrupts normal human development. Sexual abuse changes your thinking. It causes you to think that the abuse was all your fault. It causes you to think that you're worthless. It causes you to doubt yourself and to doubt your abilities. Most importantly, abuse of this nature damages your ability to relate to the Lord. It impacts your spirit and causes you to think that you don't have a choice in life. But God, He rescued me. At 7 years old, my story changes again. And that's when I experienced sweet salvation at Mineral Springs Baptist Church during Vacation Bible School. I do recall the dark memory of the basement where my cousin stole my innocence, and most of all, the precious gift that the Lord had intended for my future husband. But a grander memory overpowers that evil one, and that is seeing those beautiful red, white, and blue flags at the end of the aisle as I was walking to accept the Lord Jesus Christ as my Savior at 7 years old. I can still hear Onward Christian Soldiers playing on the church piano and seeing those flags flanking the altar where I knelt with my VBS teacher. Satan had a sadistic plan to kill, steal, and destroy, but the Lord God had a divine plan to save my soul. El Shaddai, the all-sufficient one, called me to Himself to know Him as Abba Father. Evil stole my father and my innocent purity, but the Lord wants me to use my story for His glory and His kingdom. You may have heard the song Waymaker by Leland of Bethel Music. The song reminds me of Psalm 107 and how the Lord is a game changer, how He is a promise keeper, and how He is light in the darkness. The programs at New Life Family Outreach have been key tools of discipleship that the Lord has used to heal and restore my soul and to guide me on the path that He had planned for me. To begin with, the Lord used the Grace Program and the Bible study Forgiven and Set Free to help me face the pain of my past, which included an abortion at age 15. Layers of pain and heartache slowly started to peel away. I was able to remove my mask of self-protection. I regained touch with reality of who God is and who He created me to be. I obediently surrendered the actions and behaviors that had broken my Abba Father's heart and His commandments. And I began to follow Him according to His word. As a result, there's a brick in the memorial garden with my unborn son's name, Joshua, and Jeremiah 29:11. Over time, I became certified with Yvonda Hendricks to lead and facilitate Grace Bible study groups. My transformation continued when I joined the Journey group. Journey was led and facilitated by Shirene. Journey is a program for survivors of abuse. And abuse has multiple shapes and sizes. It includes abandonment and betrayal, sexual abuse, physical abuse, spiritual abuse. Journey combines biblical teaching with small group interaction to guide your healing and your restoration. Personal stories are shared with others who've had similar experiences, and group members respond to each other with kindness and positive affirmation as painful feelings of abuse and betrayal and shame are expressed. New Life Family Outreach may have the solution for your past pain or your current issues. We offer joy for pregnancy and birth and parenting. We offer hope for the loss of a child through miscarriage. The GRACE program is for post-abortion recovery, and we have Journey for survivors of abuse. Each of these Bible study groups bring us face to face with our brokenness and gently reconnect us to God's love. Are you ready to take responsibility for your past and to connect with God's love? Are you ready to receive the Lord's healing touch for your broken heart? Are you ready to reach out and embrace the Spirit-filled purpose that God had planned for you at the moment of conception? Are you ready for Jesus Christ to turn your trials into your testimony? Through the ministries of New Life Family Outreach, God called me out of the wilderness. He led me on the straight path, and He guided me to the purpose for my life. He had always planned for me to counsel and disciple others and to help them through their distresses and the storms of their life. He is my promise keeper. The Lord is my Redeemer. Thank you for listening to my story. May the Lord bless you as you seek Him and as you follow His divine plan for your life. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His mercy endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, for He has delivered us from the hand of the adversary.
Thank you, Susan, for sharing your story with us this evening. And thank you to Yvonda and Shirene for sharing your stories as well. All three ladies have powerful life stories that help to show how our programs of joy and grace and journey can have a deep and lasting impact on the lives of so many people. But we cannot offer those programs without you, our devoted and generous donors. So tonight we are asking for your help. It has been an unusual year financially. As most of you know, we had to cancel our spring fundraiser, the Walk for Life. But we still had some faithful donors who donated as they usually would for that event. We knew that with the combination of this virus and the economic downturn that followed, that our giving would look a little, or a lot, different this year, and it has. With churches closed, we have been unable to do our usual baby bottle campaigns, but we have trusted that God would provide, and He has done so in some unexpected ways. We have had some first-time donations this year, including a significant one from a company after a request from an employee who has some ties to our center. There was also a sweet Christian lady, a longtime donor, who included New Life Family Outreach in her estate plans when she passed away this year. So even though we have been unsure where our financial support would come from this year, God already knew, and we continue to trust that God will provide the support that we need as we continue through this year. There are many ways that the center can use your help. If you are willing to use your time and talents to help the center, please contact us and let us know. Lastly, we need your financial assistance as well. A few years ago, we asked for your help to provide our mobile ultrasound unit, and it has been an incredible addition to our center. This year, we would like to add a program called Hope Sync. It is a program that we can use to get information quickly to our clients directly over their phones. We can also use it as a fast and efficient way of mobilizing our prayer warriors, especially when we find out that a client has an immediate need or is considering abortion instead of life. This program costs $40 per month, or just under $500 per year. I know that there is someone out there who can make this program happen with a generous donation this evening. Also, if any of you are considering adding New Life Family Outreach to your estate plans after hearing earlier about the wonderful gift that we received this year, please make a note of that on your pledge or your donation, or call the center directly so that we can discuss this wonderful opportunity in more detail. For our usual donations on a night like tonight, our two most common ways to donate are a monthly pledge or a one-time operational investment for the lives of these precious children. You can donate a couple different ways this year. First, there is a phone number on the bottom of the screen, and you can call the center right now or in the next few minutes to make a donation. Also, you can donate through our website, newlifehighpoint.org. There is also a link to that website in the description of this video. If you are watching tonight with a virtual host, you can give your donation or your pledge to your host. Finally, you can also mail in your pledge or donation to the center directly. We thank you in advance for the help that you are able to provide to New Life Family Outreach as we continue to provide programs including hope for those who need it, joy for those who choose life, grace for those who are recovering from abuse or abortion, and peace through the journey that so many of our clients are taking. Thank you all very much. We appreciate you deeply.
We want to thank you all for joining us this evening. We especially thank our host for hosting viewing parties, and our hope and our prayers that you will share this video with many others. I want to thank those who shared their stories with us. I want to thank those who underwrote the event to make this possible. I want to thank Melissa McBryant for all her hard work in putting this virtual event together. Thank you and good night.